Hey, what is up you guys? It's Thursdays on my channel, which means we're going to do a TV show review. So today I thought we'd talk about Reaper. Reaper is about a kid named Sam, who his parents sell his soul to the devil. Basically once he turns 21, he has to work for the devil. Poor Sam has to just escape souls from hell. He's kind of like your average kid who's a failure. He works at this place called the Workbench. It's basically a mockery of Lowe's. I don't know. It's basically a hardware department store, but also in a way almost acts like Walmart because it has everything you could possibly want. Which they do use a lot of equipment there to kind of do their little demon hunting. But he's joined by his two best friends. You got Sock, who is, imagine Jack Black, but like 10, 15 years younger looking. There. Got it? Good. Alright. And he also has his friend Ben, who grows up to work for Team Arrow! Yeah. I hope y'all get that. If not, then y'all need to brush up on your DC TV. He also has this female friend who he basically pines over. Her name is Andy. And she is adorable, sweet, amazing, funny, and they have an on-and-off relationship throughout the entire series. And in his attempt to capture all these escaped souls from hell, he is presented with a vessel. And the vessel is designed to be what the devil thinks can be most accurately used by the user. So if you're really smart, he's going to give you like a really cool weapon, and if you're Sam, he starts you off with the vacuum cleaner. That's right, the first episode, the vessel is a vacuum cleaner. But there's a lot of different vessels, and over time he does get some pretty badass ones. Other times he gets little cutesy ones. He's got everything from baseball to bubbles. Yes, bubbles. But he also gets like a little, I say a scythe that starts off like a little thing, but then does like a kind of transformer kind of thing to be like a full-on scythe, and he's like literally death, and it's all cool and shit. And he also gets to use like a grenade at one point, and he uses an 8-track, which who's heard of an 8-track, right? Am I right? Because yeah, that was from the 80s. That's right, Ricky. It's from the 80s. You're old. So one of the things I wanted to kind of briefly mention for a moment is, especially in the first season, it seems like no one else works at the Workbench. Nobody. Nobody except the main characters and the store manager. Other than that, you never see any other like person like stocking shelves or in the back or whatever. You see more of the people in like the second season, and like occasionally they'll have like meetings in like the first season. But for the first half of the first season, you swear it's literally only like 5 people working there. Which, yeah, you can see the schedule in one of the episodes where it's like, oh, we got the list, but no. But anyway. So, yeah, there's that. Also, there was an episode where Patton Oswalt guest starred as one of the escaped demons. And one of his cool traits is he gets a shotgun hand. He literally can transform his hand to a shotgun and blow your face off. Go Patton Oswalt. You the man. But yeah, and later on throughout season 1, there is a character who comes into play that is actually the daughter of the devil. And Sam's like, ooh, I want that. She hot. So he does just that. Goes for her. So now he has this really awkward love triangle with this girl named Caddy, who's, as I mentioned, the daughter of Satan. And, of course, Andy, who he's been on and off with for ages. And, of course, over time, it ends up not working out with Caddy, because, you know, we're all rooting for him and Andy, so just let them be a thing. An underlying theme of the show in general, actually, is that a lot of things that we take for granted of what we do every day as like just decent deeds or good deeds are actually just a civilized face on a horrible thing. We think, oh hey, we're doing good, I'm helping this person out, but maybe that person doesn't want to actually be helped, or it's like you think you're doing good basically, even though you're truly the villain or doing bad. It's a very common thing, it's a common trope against for all villains that, oh hey, I'm not a villain, I'm doing what I think is right. Because to them, they do think what they're doing is right, but also the heroes think, yeah, I'm the good guy, I'm doing right. It's like, actually, technically you're not. It's that kind of, like, moral, in a way. Some recurring characters that come towards the end of the first season and onward is some gay demons named Steve and Tony. And they are just the sweetest, adorable couple, and they're basically in charge of a group that is kind of like trying to make a rebellion against the devil, because a lot of them were part of the original like rebellion against God, and they got all cast down like around the same time. So they're like, hey, we want to go back to heaven, that was a cool place. And so they start this little group who plans to find a way to just defeat the devil once and for all, so there's no hell, so everyone just automatically goes to heaven, kind of thing. And the very first attempt at it, they mess up because the devil's just like, oh, hey, yeah, no, y'all didn't plan this well. Collapses the entire building on them, which actually killed Steve, the gay demon. Spoilers, I guess. And yeah, so Tony's angry with Sam because he's like, oh, this is all your fault. And it's not really, it's more the devil because, you know, the devil's evil. We find out that Sam is actually the devil's son. That is why the relationship between him and the devil is so tight. Because a lot of people were pointing out throughout the entire season that, aren't you kind of close to the devil? No one ever gets time with the devil. The devil's constantly going to you. What are you doing? And Sam's like, I don't know, he just likes me. And it's because it's his son. Which kind of sucks because that means his dad is not his dad. Which is so sad. But, so basically the rebellion guys kind of like regroup, and what's left of them decide, okay, we have a plan B now. We got this like cage that was supposed to contain like this super huge badass demon. So we're gonna do it again with Satan. But spoilers, what Sam doesn't know is that the trap is actually for him. Because you take out Sam, you basically attack Satan in a way, I guess. And so Sam basically goes to this thing, he's like, oh, you guys are gonna go through this? I think it's a bad idea. And then they're just like, oh, it's okay, it was for you. They push him in, and like his dad's there trying like stop all the madness. He gets tossed in there, and basically just everything goes to shit. And so at the last second before they're about to be buried in this cage underground, Steve comes back as an angel and kind of stops Tony from doing it and saves Sam, and we assume that his dad's just dead. But spoilers! He's not. So part of the thing with the whole contract was Sam's originally thought to be dad was gonna basically die. So that's why they made the whole deal with the devil. But now the devil kind of did the little loophole thing where it's like, oh, you want me to not let you die from this disease? Okay, you're not gonna die ever! Great. Wonderful. He decides to go on a road trip with Slack and Sam just to kind of get away from everything for a while. And everything's going fine until they get back. They find out they got fired from the workbench because they just ditched for an entire month. Andy was mad at Sam because they were only supposed to be gone for a couple of weeks, but were gone for a month. And just a lot of these just issues just came along from that road trip, but everything ended up kind of working out. Okay, so for this season, all the guys kind of get their chick thing kind of person. So Sam obviously is going to keep having his like on and off thing with Andy. And Ben gets this hot demon chick named Nina. And basically they fall in love, and he kind of encourages her to not be so demony, even though he's cool with it. And the awkward one is, I know, those two were pretty awkward already, but to top that, Sock pines for his stepsister. So when Sock's mom and new stepdad decide to go away, Sock's like, oh, I have a sister. Okay. She's kind of hot. She's taunting me. She's sticking her butt like right in my face, like she's trying to seduce me. Sock and her kind of do eventually kind of get together, kind of do probably a couple times. And when Sock decides to break the news to her dad, because dad's all like, oh, she would never go for you. And he's like, well, you know what? We hooked up. And he gets beat with the fishing rod, which is funny. In the second season, we also meet another son of Satan, and his name is Morgan. And Morgan is this very charismatic looking guy who was probably a daddy's boy the entire time. Kind of like, I'm the son of Satan, I'm gonna just be a bad person, have like all this like evil charisma-ness to me. And basically he has to compete with Sam to basically be Satan's right-hand man whenever they try to do the apocalypse and all that in the future. And of course Sam's just like, I don't want to do this. I'm trying to get out this freaking contract so I can have my own soul and just do what I want. Morgan's just like, I want to please daddy. So they have their little competition. Of course Sam wins, because he's just a natural bounty hunter for Satan, which is sad because considering the first few episodes of the series, he was god awful at it, but he just keeps getting better and better without even trying. Since Sam wins the competition, Satan decides, oh hey, you need to be trained in the ways of evilness. So he gets sent to this little private tutor person who Satan actually has a thing for. And it's a lot of awkwardness because Sam's like, oh, maybe she has answers to like how I'm getting out of this contract, so he like tries to seduce her and takes Satan's gift that was meant for her from him to takes it as his own. It creates this whole like jealousy thing with the devil, and weirdly the devil's like, you know what, I understand your point of view, who wouldn't want that? So Sam's like, oh, okay. So basically Satan's like, you know what, we're gonna do the most evil way to teach you ever. We're gonna have you work for a corporation. Dun dun dun. I don't know what. Okay. So basically Sam worked for this no-name corporation that I assume is maybe like an architecture firm or some, because one of the guys is like, oh, I have this model of this like really cool like thing, and they're just like, that's stupid. Sam, you're new here, what do you got? And Sam's like, I have nothing. I like it. Yes, that's what we want. We want just a fresh start. We need to just start from the ground up. And yeah. So Sam magically makes his way up the ladder, and then he's like, finds out that his dad actually has the answers to getting out of his deal with the devil. So he has Nina, who has been his girlfriend, to go to hell and kind of retrieve him. So what Sam learned is that since he's now in the corporate office level, he gets this key that allows him to go to this floor that has a portal to hell. So he leads her to it, and she goes in, comes back at their designated time, I guess like a day or two later. She comes back, she's like, yeah, he's not done down there, but he wanted me to give you this. And basically, it's a scroll that tells you how to potentially win your soul back from the devil. And basically that way is to challenge the devil to a competition using the incantation. And if you win, you get your soul back. And the trick is his reflection. Now, whenever he had the words transcribed, he originally went to Steve, the angel who died back in season 1. Wait, did I mention that? Did I mention that he was like a demon but like went to heaven? Yeah, I think I'm... yeah, because he was an angel again. Just in case I didn't clarify that earlier, he's an angel now. So he basically transcribes it, and when he transcribes it, he misinterprets it a little bit. Because when he says reflection, he assumed, oh, just dress like the devil. That's how you win. No, it was supposed to be a mirror. Which Sam eventually learns when he talks to Gladys, who is the chick who works at the DMV that collects all the vessels from Sam. So he has a little competition. He ties it first, and Satan's like, you had to win. You tied. Sucks for you. And Sam's like, I want to... no, it's... you. No one lost. It's like, you didn't win, though. Which is, I guess, losing if you tie, I guess. So that's when they find out that, oh, hey, it's supposed to be a mirror, not the physical dressing like Satan thing. So basically, Andy decides, oh, hey, I'm going to put my soul up as collateral since Satan needs something to make it worthwhile. And after she does that, he's like, okay, let's do this. And they have a table mirror. He's like, okay, Satan, you go first. And he keeps looking at the mirror, so kept missing in their little game. Which, their game of choice, by the way, of all things Sam is good at, which is nothing, is quarters. A little game where you just flick a quarter on the table and it bounces into the shot glass. So, like I said, they tied the first match. In this match, since there's a reflection, Satan's like, miss, 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 miss. Covers his eyes so it's not looking at himself. Right in! And so Sam's like, okay, cool, I got this, I only need to get 2. But Satan gets all pissed off and like smashes the glass. He's like, ugh. And since they're at the workbench, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go grab another one so we can finish this. And when he goes, he runs into Steve. Steve kind of gives him almost a pep talk-ish. But when he goes to shake his hand, he squeezes the hell out of it, spraining it or breaking it. I don't think that was properly explained. I assume sprained because it didn't really need to cast or anything. And he can't compete anymore, and he just loses. So now not only is his soul Satan's, so is Andy's. And it's just a sad, sad ending. And so when he runs into Steve again afterwards, he's like, why would you do that? And he's like, God works in mysterious ways. And so he was sent by God to mess it up. And so basically we get to the end of the series, which I know, only 2 seasons? How lame is that? It is very lame. You basically get left on this cliffhanger of Sam and Andy are like, we're going to beat the devil. We're going to find a way, but we'll just keep doing his work for now. They're going to keep catching souls, just keep doing their thing. Maybe they're just trying to do God's plan by sending all those devils back to hell. This show had so much more planned, and it just cuts off. But I still recommend you go watch it. It's a wonderful TV show. You could watch the first half on Hulu, the other half you'd have to watch on DVD or maybe rent it or something. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what TV shows you want me to talk about next. And I'll see you losers next time. Bye.